It's alive, baby. This thing is real and it's alive. Let's bring in Constellation Research founder Ray Wang. And Ray, you and I have been talking for at least a decade about all of this. You know, but now it feels like they're happening at lightning speed. What's the rush? What is this sort of like almost every other day another bigger deal is announced?
You know, there are three versions of what's going on in AI. There's the group that's trying to buy general superintelligence, artificial superintelligence. These are the folks building the big data centers, the LLMs, and that's the OpenAIs of the world, the Googles, the Microsofts. Then there's folks that are trying to build apps, which is a different part of the game, and there are other folks that are really trying to build smaller pieces of what the AI infrastructure looks like. It's all over the map, but there's a big rush because there's $15 trillion of foreign direct investment into the US to support any kind of AI initiative. The markets are on fire. And you also, as you know, there's $25 trillion in market cap in the top 10 tech companies, and the U.S. GDP is $29 trillion, just for reference. That's how big this is. So and money keeps pouring in.
It does. So, and this specific deal, you laid out some things. We abbreviated it for the folks. 6 gigawatts, one a year over the next 6 years, beginning the first half of next year. AMD obviously central to this, and it's still OpenAI, 160 million shares of AMD stock. But you have a hold on AMD. Is it just that it's come too far too fast?
No, here's the interesting thing. What I'm worried about is the circular economy that's going on between all these deals. There's a lot of deals where, you know, one chip company is buying into another AI company, and AI company is buying into a chip company, and it seems very circular at this moment, like it's a major balance of trade. And so there's a lot of risk when that happens, when everybody's buying into each other. And then the question is, where's the real result of companies buying into all this AI infrastructure?
It's so
that's the risk on the back end.
Yeah, it's so funny you bring that up. I guess the most popular meme over the weekend was the extension cords all plugged into each other, you know, like, hey, where does this get? So, but, you know, there is financing for this. You talked about it, trillions of dollars, the $3 trillion needed in cash. Some of it's coming from private credit, some of it's coming from CapEx funded, the cash flows. But there will be a legitimate winner here. I guess the argument is that at some point, when can we declare it?
Well, I think it's going to be a little bit. We are in the second inning of this battle for chips. We're in the first inning in terms of LLMs not taking dominance. We're in between two S curves, right? The S curve from the internet age and the AI age. So where does search turn into LLMs? We're seeing it right now, right? The OpenAI conference is going on, the developer conference right now. We're about to see a new device. We're about to see agents pop up. We're going to see a whole bunch of other innovations in the browser market. And it's all coming back with OpenAI, trying to take out every one of those areas in the internet in the old age and becoming the winner in the new age, from search to advertising to browsers to devices and to all the other places that are out there. That's what gets this really exciting, is because we're reinventing things and we're also redoing things that we had done in the past. And it's like deja vu all over again.
All right, deja vu all over again. There's a lot of money being made. I mean, mind-boggling amounts of money right now. People who are not in this market don't even realize. Forget about where the S&P is, where NASDAQ is. The individual names have been amazing. You've got three agentic ideas, and I have to go in the middle here. Salesforce, because a lot of folks are thinking they're the loser in all of this. You think it's a pick here?
Well, here's the thing. Salesforce either can reinvent itself and get into the agentic era, and we'll find out more next week at the Dreamforce event, or they're going to fall behind. And I think they've been making the investments to jump into this agentic era. They've been leading the charge, talking about agents, talking about how they should operate. And of course, a lot of customers, the most innovative customers, are still on Salesforce.
Oracle, you would chase it here?
Well, what's interesting is we all see Oracle make their announcement next week at the Oracle AI, their AI event. And what they're going to do at Oracle AI World is basically show where their agents are actually making a lot of progress. A lot of people don't realize how much work has gone into Oracle. And I would say in this market, Oracle's ahead in agents among the three that we've put up there.
Great stuff. And of course, ServiceNow, everyone loves the CEO, and the company seems to be clicking on all cylinders. Good stuff, Ray. We've been talking about this for a decade, and it still feels fresh. It's the second inning. I love it. Thank you, my friend.
Take care. Thanks.
See you.